Good morning, everybody. Hope you guys are doing all right. Jumping right into my watch list for today, we got Google. Google has been, holding up extremely well during. I wouldn't even say this is, really a pullback or anything, but there's been a lot of names that have been a bit choppy. I mean, we have been in some chop for a couple months now, but we get this 2 day pullback, and there's a lot of names that just don't look that ready. I mean, if we look at Tesla, we could see that this thing's just gapping down. I mean, same with Palantir. We get that 2 day gap down here. So Google's been, holding up really well. It is, it is trending very nicely as well. And I mean, it is up a lot. It would be great for a bit more consolidation. But if the SPY is going to reverse and just continue back to the upside, Google and GGLL, the 2x ETF. I mean, these are going to be on watch for continuation. We got Unity, which also recently been trending nicely, and now just putting in this little handle here. Any trend over 45, 46 level, I would potentially be interested in joining that. And then we got Reddit, which the better entry obviously was yesterday, but we're still, we still have this clear 240s level. Very nice base. If we could just push over that and reclaim those levels, then I'd potentially be interested there. Otherwise, ideally, maybe a tight day below, and then the push out tomorrow. But that's my short watch list. I don't really have much. I mean, PL and Lunar, these names are starting to build out here now. These space names, so maybe something there soon. But that's pretty much what I got. I'm gonna pass it over to Josh.
Good morning, everybody. Wrapping up the last 48 hours of the year. And it's relatively slow, quiet, choppy. I don't think there's any reason to go nuts here. I am going to be watching XOM today. This made a new 52-week high yesterday. It's a few percent off all-time highs at 126.50 something or 40 something. Let's see the weekly. This thing just looks just as good on the weekly as it does on the daily. Yeah, here in October of 2024. I'll be watching XLE with that. This is starting to build a little bit. Moving averages are starting to get tight. I am absolutely in Judah's camp on Reddit. I'm going to be watching versus 228. Like he said, and like the holiday weeks have shown in the past, liquidity can be a bit lower. It can be a little choppier. Spreads can be a bit wider. So I'm giving things a bit of room. And also the average true range of the stock is over 4%. So its average move is near $10 a day anyway. But that's what gives me that 227, 228 level. It's also where all these moving averages are coiling next to each other. SLV, yesterday it offered a couple of days of range. The futures were a lot better. We can see if there's going to be failed follow through today. So far, this trend, we had a blow off and a pullback, but it really, considering the magnitude of this trend, not much of a pullback so far. So if we want to stay heavy today and roll, and break below the closing price of yesterday, maybe we could have a bigger unwind today, or maybe this trend just wants to continue to go higher. So I'm seeing, a case for both scenarios, staying ready. And yeah, a short watch list for me. I don't think it's a time to press. There's been a lot of choppiness in individual names, despite the markets kind of going down a little bit sideways mostly. And we're walking into the new year, and a lot of the times new trends and new themes emerge pretty quickly as we get into the beginning / middle of January. So if you're not seeing anything, not finding your pitch right here into the end of the new year, tomorrow's a short day. Wait a little bit and wait for your setups to come. I'm going to pass this right to Emil, and have a great day.
Hey, thanks. Morning, everyone. So Obviously, I'm going to watch silver as well, like everybody else on the planet. Um, for me, I'm slightly leaning towards being, short bias, and why I'm doing that is mostly I like the fact that it's gapping up and it's pushing already in pre-market. So for me at this stage, since we have the brutal sell-off yesterday and this morning it's gapping up, I'm looking at this in simple terms. That's one of the level I have been interested. I really wanted to see if it's basically the gap close, if it's going to reject. Now it didn't, and now it's pushing back against this level and it's stuffing. Now if we are looking at a more granular level, we can see that here struggled to push forward and basically had some sort of unwind. Now I'm going to consider this a slightly toppy action from pre-market, and I'm going to be interested in any pops against 69-ish, risking pretty much 69, 70-ish, slightly above pre-market high. So any pops, any push against 69, looking for a short, mostly because broke this trend and also stuff the bigger picture or a bigger time frame rejection here. So at this point, to me, it's looking like a decent short with a decent risk reward. So I'm going to short any push against 69, and like I said, risking slightly above pre-market highs. Also looking at AEO, this one has nothing to do with oops, what am I doing here? It's not working. Oh yeah, sorry about that. So I'm looking at this one pretty much in the same manner. I'm looking at silver, same pattern to me. So if there is going to be any push slightly higher towards 2750, I am going to be interested in getting a short, especially if it's going to find that supply there and then slightly losing momentum and showing sign of weakness. I am going to watch for a rollover and a potentially weaker close today. So nothing here, but if it's going to push there against that area, then definitely looking for a short there. Also looking at Baidu. Baidu had a big move after hour, and the daily chart looking pretty neat to me. So nice breakout here with a big gap. Now, I'm not really looking to do anything here, but if there are going to be any dips versus 130 or any level that it's going to find some sort of support and then starts to coil up, then I'm going to be interested in getting a long trade there. GV, another name that I'm having on radar, it's having this nicely sideways action, but I'm not going to try to guess if it's going to have some follow through or not. Ideally, it's going to break through this area. So any push through 672-ish area might be a trigger, but there is some way to cover. I mean, has to cover a lot to get there in the first place, and then we shall see if it's going to have power to have some follow through. So ideally, it's going to push there, have a pullback, and then it's going to have another attempt to have that breakout. That would be something that I'm interested in. Also, keeping an eye on a few small caps, AKSO. Today it's gapping up. So far had a nice rejection, but still I am looking pretty much at these levels. So ideally it's going to have a push through 9, slightly higher, see if it's going to reject here, and if it's the price action, it's pretty fast. I wouldn't be surprised to see it pushing through 10 or even after our highs. So we've seen a lot of this type of behavior lately, where the price is going much further than people would like to see. So if the price is going to speed up fast or it's going to hold up into 10 a.m., I'm expecting to see push way further than that. But either way, any 950 reach or 10 plus, I'm going to be interested in getting a short there. And the last one I'm watching, it's SOPA. That's this one had big push. I mean, held a trend yesterday into close, and it's looking like a multiple day runner, and also have a history of being a multiple day runner, or at least making big moves. So nothing here to me, but if it's going to push towards 3 plus 330, sorry, if it's going to push high into pre-market highs or even slightly higher at 470, I'm going to be interested in getting a short, especially if those levels are going to get reached during mid-morning. So yeah, pretty much that's what I have, guys. Good luck, and see you later.
Yep. Thank you, Josh. Thank you, Emil. Thank you, everyone, for tuning in. Hope you guys